Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well. We are gonna do a Clues by Sam again today. We have a tricky one, and I promise you, it is a promise, I'm not gonna get any yellows today. I see that we have a bride, a clown. Each day is a bit more interesting, and I haven't read the Monday's newsletter, so I'm not really sure what's happening. When I find out, maybe I'll tell you guys. Or if you know what it is, then you can tell me. But if you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it is a daily logic puzzle game where there are 20 people on a board. Each of them has to get a role assigned to them, either criminal or innocent, and you gotta use the clues that they themselves might give you to figure out what each person is. We do this every day here on the channel, and it varies in difficulty, so it starts at easy on Monday and it gets gradually more difficult. So today's is a tricky one, and I'm gonna do this right. Let's start. We start with Vance telling us that exactly 2 instances to the right of Linda are neighboring Noah. So Noah has 2 people to the right of Linda who neighbor him. Both of them have to be innocent then. And I guess we don't know about Noah from that clue, so let's dismiss that. Martin now says that Rose is one of Linda's 3 innocent neighbors. So Rose is an innocent as well, and Linda now has 2 innocent neighbors. She needs one more among the 5 that she has total. Olivia, though, says there are exactly 3 innocents in the corners. We don't have any innocents in the corners so far. So let's leave that clue there and look at Rose's. Sophia is one of Thor's 2 criminal neighbors. So Sophia is a criminal. Thor has 5 neighbors total as well, and 2 of them are criminal, 3 of them are innocents, just like Linda's. Sophia now says that exactly 2 of the 3 innocents in row 5 are her neighbors. So she has 3 people neighboring her in row 5. One of them is already an innocent, which means that the other 2 are criminals. Is it criminals? No, I was reading that wrong. Oh my god. Why am I doing this? I don't need to panic. I can do this on my own time. The puzzle is not gonna run away from me. So, 2 of the 3 innocents in row 5 are her neighbors, which means that either Wanda or Zoe are the second innocent neighboring her in their row, and the third innocent could only be Uma. Uma now says there's an odd number of innocents neighboring Gary. Okay, so we don't know how many innocents Gary has in total. We just know that they are an odd number. What else? Thor's second criminal neighbor is down here. And somebody told us his total, right? Thor? Thor. Rose says that Thor has 2 criminal neighbors, so we know who they are. They're Sophia, the first one, and the second one is either going to be Wanda or Zoe, so nobody else, the neighbors Thor, is a criminal. That means that Noah is an innocent. And now Noah says that only one of the 3 innocents neighboring Chris is Linda's neighbor. So Chris has 5 neighbors total, just like Linda. He shares 2 with Linda, so only one of them is an innocent. Only one. I will be right back. I'm back and you may hear a toy, squeaky toy in the background. So only one of the 2 neighbors that Chris and Linda share is an innocent, and Chris, just like Linda and Thor, has 3 innocent neighbors. So 2 more for us to find. Now, Linda's third innocent neighbor is gonna be either Freya or Gary, so that means that Phil, her other neighbor, is not an innocent. And Phil now says that exactly 2 of the 3 innocents in column C are Olivia's neighbors. So Olivia has 3 people neighboring her in column C. One of them is an innocent, the other one is already a criminal, so the third one has to be the second innocent. And we also know now that Olivia also has 3 innocents neighboring her. Oh, that's not right. That's not right. 3 innocents in column C total. So Wanda and David, one are an innocent and the other one a criminal, because we have 2 innocents in column C. So it doesn't have anything to do with Olivia's total. But what else do we know? Let's think about this. Um, Thor has 2 criminal neighbors. Yeah, Rose is one of Linda's 3 instant neighbors, so guess we don't need that anymore. Only one of the 3 instants neighboring Chris. Okay, so Heidi, he died. How do you say this? Heidi? For me, I think it's Heidi. She's one of the instances that Chris has neighbored. The second one is either going to be Freya or Gary. And the third one is either going to be Betsy or David. Right? That's 1. Now, what other... excuse me. What other clue do we have to look at? The instance in the corner. Why? Because David is influencing Zoe and Betsy. If Betsy were to be an instant, that will make David a criminal, and that will make Wanda an instant, which would make Zoe a criminal. Now, what does that make Evie? An instant, because we need 3 instants in the corners, and we only have 1 so far, plus 2 with Betsy. If Betsy, on the other hand, were a criminal, that will make David an innocent, which would make Wanda a criminal, and that will make Zoe an instant. What does that make Evie? An instant again, because in any one of these scenarios, we need Evie to be an instant to make 3 instants in the corner. So Evie has to be an instant in any scenarios. Do we go back with the... not you. Evie now says there's an equal number of instances in rows 2 and 5. So we know there's 3 instances in row 5 because somebody told us before. I don't remember who. But we know there's going to be 3 here because there's 2 already. And the third one who's either going to be Wanda or Zoe, which means there has to be 3 as well in row 2. And row 2 already has 2. One of them is Heidi. The second one is either Freya or Gary. The third one could only be Kumar. And now Kumar says that there's an odd number of criminals neighboring Sophia. An odd number of criminals. And we know that Sophia is going to have 1 criminal here who's either going to be Wanda or Zoe. And her last neighbor, and only other one who doesn't have a role yet, is Thor. If Thor were to be a criminal as well, then Sophia would have 2 criminal neighbors, and that's an even number. So she has to have Thor as an innocent neighbor. Thor now says there are more criminals in row 2 than row 3. Criminals. So we know there's 1 criminal in row 2, which means there couldn't be any in row 3. So Linda has to be an instant. Now Linda says there's an odd number of criminals neighboring Betsy. And Betsy has 1 criminal neighboring her here in row 2, which means that the third and last neighbor that she has couldn't be a criminal as well, because that will make 2, which is an even number. Chris has to be an instant then. And now we look back at Gary. Or do we not? We do, because Gary needs an odd number of something. Uma says that Gary needs an odd number of instants neighboring him. So far he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's gonna have a 6th one who's either gonna be Betsy or David. So 6 is an even number. That means Gary needs 1 more instant neighbor, and that has to be Freya, which makes him himself a criminal. Now Freya says that only 1 column has exactly 3 instants. What would happen if Betsy were a criminal? That would make David an innocent and Wanda a criminal, which would make Zoe an innocent. Now, we have 2 columns with 3 instances. Column A and column C both have 3 instances. So we have to switch this up. Betsy has to be an instant, which makes David a criminal, Wanda an instant, and Zoe a criminal. Now, how many columns do we have with 3 instances? Column C, column D couldn't be it, column B couldn't be it, and column A has 4. So this is the solved puzzle. No yellows. Almost had 2 mistakes there. Now, how do I get my stats back? This isn't intuitive at all because it doesn't feel like a hyperlink or like a button. But I understand. Now that I get it, I get it. I'm redeemed. I didn't get a yellow, but the real test is gonna be on Sunday when we get the hardest one of the week, and next Monday when I'm gonna do the bonus one from this Mondays. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I could demonstrate how to take a step back and pay attention to what you're reading and not do it so fast that you kind of assume what's written and try to act on what's on your head instead of what the clue is actually telling you. And I'll leave this video here. Let me know if you played it, how it went for you, and I'll see you tomorrow for more Clues by Sam. Bye bye.